welcome to In the Garden. This is episode, I think it's about number 23.
23.
Yeah, and that's Mark behind the camera. He's hiding.
We're down in Gatton.
And Mark's mum is here.
And this is the old man.
No, she's not. So, as you can tell, yes, we're on the road again. We've got a big fortnight again. Every week I say that, or every fortnight I say that, but we do. So we've road tripped down to Stanthorpe and Gatton. We're actually about to head for home. The car is packed. Mark might pan.
Is that not a cooking pan? It's a other pan.
Ha 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 ha.
I take awful photos.
So we've got,
Right.
later in the episode, you're going to see Daisy and the big round bale that we bought her because she's actually getting really hungry. We've got to increase the chicken feed too. We'll probably show you that through the fortnight. The gardens are really suffering. There's been no rain. We're a bit desperate for it. But anyway, we'll see you throughout the episode.
See you soon.
There he is, bold as brass. They particularly like to be up near bananas. So apparently redbacks love bananas and certain snakes love redbacks, and kookaburras love to eat the snakes.
Okay, so we are lifting bulbs. So these were the freesias, and we've had some ranunculus come out of a different tub. There are two tubs. That's the old, oops, not as good to see, but the little spiky ranunculus and the freesia bulbs. So the freesias actually did better than the ranunculus, but we haven't had, actually this one wasn't too bad, hey? Whoop, I can see him. This one's not too bad compared to some. Some of the daffs, no, not the daffs, but the tulips we lifted were just, I think, part of the problem, too wet. That is boogered. So we've started lifting some of the daffs. We've got tulips here. It's getting a bit better this year at separating them out at this point. So we got freesias and ranunculus, and
We actually even have written on the box this year.
yeah, which is pretty flash. So we're getting a very high tech. Used a Nico.
It's a Sharpie.
It's a Sharpie. All right. Okay, we used the Sharpie. Super high tech. We're Tesla high tech. We used the Sharpie.
Yeah, I don't know if I go that far.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we'll keep going, and we've got some more to go, but I think we'll be needing to replenish some of the bulbs next year and start
We're
fresh.
going to also have to reevaluate our planting schedules.
Yeah, the heat has done them no good. As much as they were super wet, I suppose we compensated. Well, I don't suppose we did for how hot it was. But just, yeah, it just didn't work. As the tulips got too wet, so they went leg up. Anyway, lots to think about. If anyone else grows freesias, ranunculus, anemones, tulips or daffs,
Or jonquils.
or jonquils, happy for you to comment and help us out.
Okay, so this is one bulb that's actually splitting into three. If I just very carefully, I'm not going to do a lot, but you can actually see there's now three distinct bulbs come off the one. It's actually been an excellent, there's another one, two. It's actually been an excellent year for the bulbs. So that one split into, for the daffs. That one split into four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, no, really good year for those.
So we got a box full of daffs there, a box full of daffs there. Tulips, bar the ones that we had, those late couple that we had in the pots, were a disaster. And the freesias and the ranunculus went not too bad. We don't have any anemones, we planted them out in the yard and they didn't at all take. And even the ranunculus that went out the front in the roundabout and out the back, a couple of them came up but just didn't at all go, so I think it was too late and too hot.
Do you want to do the asparagus?
Oh, I can do the asparagus. Would you like me to do the asparagus?
I'm going to do my asparagus.
So we have,
These are growing from seed.
these are growing from seed.
So there'll be another 2 to 3 years before we can harvest them.
So there'll be another 2 to 3 years before we can harvest them. And then you got some
Brandy wine.
tomatoes in there. And what's that, dude?
That's a hydrangea.
Hydrangea. He was all but dead, but he's came back. His little mate didn't make it in the nursery, so he's compost, literally. But yeah, so that's that. So no, we'll get these now in little sacks and label them and get them to air. Getting a bit better, as I said in the earlier take, of getting them separated. The daffs didn't flower. There was very little flowers. We had a big flowering year last year, but they all grew well, but they just didn't flower. We only had, wouldn't even been half a dozen flowers out of the whole lot of them, the jonquils and the daffies. So they put all their time and energy this year into the bulb, so hopefully next year that means we'll get some nice flowers.
Next.
Alright, these are Nicola's repotting some tomato seedlings, but these are teeny weeny baby gladdies from last year. I chucked a few out in the pond garden, and we're sitting in under the cover because it is brutally hot, in mid-30s.
Be mid to highs, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a, you can see it, I'm not sure if you can see it in the trees, but there's a wind blowing, and so like it's a fanned forced oven. Exceptionally hard to keep plants alive in it. This year what I'm going to do is try and have a gladdie nursery and see if we can get these little fellas coming up in the pot. They won't flower, but if they can continue to grow and thrive and get bigger, that will be a grand thing. Now I'm going to try something a bit different this year with the little baby gladdies. That is the slightest amount of fresh worm juice mixed with water so to dilute it. So I'm just letting them soak a little bit, the little hard skins, before I plant them. So hopefully it'll give them a bit of a boost. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Well, here's our Daisy having some protein and some grain, just a couple of scoops, help offset. As you can see, the back paddock, we are desperate for rain. And what is that, you ask? It is was a round bale until Daisy got to it. Now it's sort of a bit of a pointy bale. But we bought that this weekend, help offset a feed. So not giving her hay this afternoon because she's got a bit over there. This supplement will help her, and we would love some rain, Daisy, wouldn't we? Get a bit of grass growing again. And she'll nobble that up. There's a lick block, what's left of it in there, that she's been munching away through. And Daisy girl is having her dinner, and she'll get the same for breakfast, and we'll have to think about, whoops, earthquake, no, just bad phone handling skills, what we do.
Okay, I'm here in the rose garden. We've got a few things to do in here this week. It has been horrendously hot. We have had the worst weather. It's been mid to high 30s for the last 2 to 3 weeks without a break. And then we got 11.5 mils last night. Now we're kind of hopeful we'll get a bit more today. But that means there's a lot of work to do. This is the Black Forest Rose. It was beautiful. It's really stressed, as you can see. But today's task, right now, I have to do some work with the albertine. So as you can see, it's got new growth, it has leaves, and it looks pretty clear of the black spot. So I'm stoked. So I've got to start tying this now to here so I can encourage it to train up and over. So I have some pieces of stocking. Now, I know there are people out there who would go, you shouldn't use stockings, it's not really good for it, but the reality is it's what I have. It's soft. It's not abrasive. I don't tie it so tight, as you can see, that it's actually cutting into the rose itself. So my job is to train those up so that it starts heading up here. And this one never took, which is really, really sad. So next year it's another albertine for me. Guess what I've just done, Mr. Pet?
Are we allowed to say that on television? Oh, pick the peaches. Yep. So
this is my Tropic Beauty. There was one that's yuck, but look at the colours. How beautiful is that? He's soft, he's ripe.
These two, he's soft, he's the third fellow's a bit yards.
Okay, well, we'll put them in the kitchen. I think we might cut that one up and we will try our very first peach.
Yep.
That's our afternoon tea.
Tropic Beauty.
Tropic Beauty. So I'm very excited about that. I mean, as I said, it's been a really rough summer so far, and it's not actually technically summer. These are the guavas, and look, we have little baby guavas. Yeah, and I don't know how to tell they're ready. So if you know, please tell me. But this one is loaded as well, so I'm pretty excited about that. The rest of the fruit, and particularly given the environment, I'm really stoked. We got, looks like a bit of rust. And again, if you know how to treat that, please tell me so I can get on top of it. But actually overall, given it's been hand watered now for months, they're actually really well established. So I'm actually stoked. Hopefully next year we might get some apples and bits and pieces. But this year I get to try my very first peach. We're over here by the bins, but actually it's also where we want to have the fernery. So what have we got?
Dead potatoes.
Yay!
When do we want them? Dead now. Okay, he's biting our feet. Ready?
Yep.
So we don't know what this sort was.
Not off the top of my head. No, I'd have to. Oh, that is really wet.
Really?
Yeah, we might stop watering them.
So,
Use your axe.
no.
Oh, this.
That's what I just
Oh, it could be. Right, well, that's a very wet potato packet. And we actually put even more holes in this time, so...
Well, considering how dry it's been too, they're holding the water. Don't like the chances.
No.
Rotten.
Right, put him in there.
You'll lose him in the... Yeah, no.
Whee! Over here.
This is a bummer. There's a little fella. That your mama potato?
I'd say. Oh, no.
Yeah,
he's
that's
got
a mama
spuddies.
potato. Died before it could actually do anything.
Yeah.
Can't replant that, I don't suppose.
No. You alright?
Yeah. Not good. Okay, stop ordering.
Yeah.
For a day or week or so.
Well, how much of that would have been last night too?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. They're rotten.
Mmm. Yeah, and that's our haul of potatoes. I don't think that's going to be enough for tonight.
No. Give them to Charlotte. She could have those ones.
So, this is actually the sad tale of woe of the weather. Remember all those lovely lush green beans I sowed a couple of weeks ago? Well, this is actually all that's left of them, and it's not much. Yeah, we got one of the tomatoes here. It's going okay. We've had to cover the little grape again. It had beautiful leaves finally, and the birds ate it. However, what I can do is I can pull a couple of onions. There's two that I can pull there. And I'll take those up. These ones have gone to seed, but actually that's not really very disappointing at all, because what that means is hopefully next season I'll have self-set onions. This was all onion and leek, and it's a wasteland. There's a couple alive, but there's not much. I've let the leeks go to seed as well. They're beautiful flowers, but the other good benefit is it should self-set leeks for us here. And we'll go up and we'll have a look at a few other things. My blueberries. I know Mark sort of said that it was like a fan-forced oven here, but it's really difficult to overstate how bad it's been. Yeah, it's been really bad, so I don't have a lot of these brassicas left. There's some. And those that have survived, I'm hoping will do really well. They should settle in and be happy, particularly now that it's rained. So up here, that looks like something's been in here overnight and got into my cucumbers. So I have one cucumber left. These are butternuts. These are squash. So I've got a couple of those. They're actually, again, they're doing really quite well. Peanuts haven't emerged yet. And these beds still haven't been turned over. But in our defence, it's been particularly bad weather. This bed is fallow, it's ready to turn. This bed has some self-set beetroot, but that's it. Apart from that, it's fallow. This is the brassica bed, and again, the weather's just kind of laid waste to it. And the grapes haven't been going so well either. As you can see, most of the grapes have actually fallen off. We've got some here, so I'll have to bag those ones up. I'll probably go around and move the bags, say, off here onto those there. Anyway, this is all that's left of that other little grape. Hang on, as you can see, something's eaten that to bits. It's quite disappointing, really, but you really can't count on the weather at the moment. It's just pretty miserable all round. Okay, tell us about the onions, Mr. Pitt.
Actually, you grew these. These are your job.
Okay,
No,
so...
not being funny, but yeah, no, you've done a really good job with them.
So we were given some onions that had actually started to sprout. And so we put them in the ground. Now they were just single, actually not very large red onions.
Little baby.
And so we put them in and we've grown them quite happily. So we've got these good sized red onions. There are more in the garden, but we've actually let those go to seed. And hopefully that should give us next year's red onion seed. So again, part of the idea is what we grow, we can then harvest our own seed, and we'll be able to go forward from there. So we've actually had not the world's most successful start to the summer season. We've lost a lot. I'm going to have to put more bean seed down. Tomatoes are going okay, but that's just mainly because I planted a lot of seed, because they do tend to die off anyway fairly quickly. The cucurbits, so our pumpkins, as you saw, there's not a lot left. Something got into the cucumber and pulled most of them out in the bed. We've got a couple of squash, so I've got a few more squash to go out, a few more beans that can go out, but really that's kind of the end of it right now. So I'll need to put a few more seed down and see what I can get up. As I said, that's really disappointing, so it will really affect our harvest this year. And again, that's the vagaries of growing vegetables in summer in Queensland. It's hot, it's dry. It can be really disappointing.
Windy.
It can be windy. And then when it's really hot and dry and windy, it's like being in a fan-forced oven. And we've lost quite a few of our natives as well. And it's just life. So anyway, we'll keep going. We will get there.
All right, what you doing?
I'm actually cutting all the dead off this little fern. It got cooked the other day.
Literally cooked.
Yeah, but when you look, we've got some green. So we've actually got it sitting in water. So it's in the shade, but it can actually take up the maximum amount of moisture. And unfried, essentially. No, you can't unfry it, but...
What's that one?
That one there, that's a hydrangea.
What's that one?
That one there is a batch of tomatoes.
And that one?
They're my asparagus, and they're going really well. So we should have If the others that I planted the other month don't come up, they will.
Here's the daisy girl, and we've just
Good girl.
opened up. We've actually asked next door if she can have a little bit of time in their paddock because they got more grass than we have.
Good girl,
And
Daisy.
they're happy too because it'll keep fires down and keep the coverage down in case we do get a fire. And we've just opened up the gate, and we're happy.
Good
So,
girl.
We're happy, Daisy. So do it with Daisy. Have some grass today. Well, if that's your thing.
Yeah.
And if you're a herbivore, all power to the herbivores.
So we've had to make some adjustments to the fence. So we've put some connectors here, and we've put 2 new handles on. So just like we have at the other gate, we've got connectors here. The idea being that it will allow us to open and close as we need to. The other thing, we'll actually take a walk this way. Last weekend.
Bye, Daisy. She'll be looking for a dinner shortly.
I think she's for dinner now. Last weekend we actually had a bale of hay delivered.
Which we took a photo of Daisy having a dinner, and the bale was turned into a pyramid, and now it's turned into a flat mound.
Yes. We think she's actually sleeping in it too.
Pretty more than thinking. She's having a lovely time. She's pooping in it. Yeah, over there. She's rolling in it, she's playing in it, she's eating it, she's having a great time.
It is actually keeping her much happier. It is actually filling her up.
It's
And
just
that
straw.
with all the grain that we feed her. So here you go. So she's a very happy Daisy. Oh, here she comes. Hello, sweetie.
And here be the remains of Bo.
Yeah.
So that was our nice hole we dug, and that's
Hello,
all the leftovers. So back to the ground.
Here she
Yeah,
comes. It's a
here
bit
she comes.
early yet. Charlotte should be here soon. Probably in the next 10 to 15 she's due. And Daisy's watching for her.
Yeah, and so should we talk about, we're thinking about doing a coffee cup.
Oh, we could do.
Yeah, a coffee cup, do it with Daisy.
And maybe a hat and a t-shirt.
Yeah, down the track. But
Oh,
if you're
hello,
interested in a coffee
sweetie.
cup, leave us a comment or send us a message. And you too could have a do it with Daisy cup. Okay, what you doing besides being bitten by ants? We have a plague of black ants.
I'm actually fitting
Oops,
this.
try not to fall in the pool.
So this is a pull cord.
Yep.
Oh, Lord help me. Look at them.
Yeah,
They're just all over my legs.
they're all on the ground. I can't really see them very well.
Okay, so this is a pull cord for,
Pools.
yeah, so the
Well, that-
idea is,
That's
it's
a
all-
novel name for it. A pool cord for pools. That's Wally doing his thing down there. Oh,
Yeah.
there he is.
so
Action shot of Wall.
got to unknot it. You're going to think about the way, otherwise you're going to get knocked over.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay.
Sorry, Wall. You can see, I don't know if you can see all the little anties. We've got them everywhere.
Okay. So the idea behind this is it allows us to pull the cover over easily, and it becomes a one-person job.
Now that it's right way up.
Yeah, that helps.
But do you...
Okay, that did not work. So
Yes.
I didn't have it down.
I caught a fish this big.
Yeah.
The one that got away. All right, we'll stop now and then we'll do it. We'll show you in a minute. You may remember our garlic. We've got a lot of them have died. Mind you, there's a couple have been. These fellas were snipped off by a rabbit or something. Just broke them off again. These ones are dead or died back. So we're going to have a bit of a dig and see what's left in the ground. And I don't know if you want to leave in the comments if anyone else is having trouble with ants. We have an absolute ant plague everywhere you go. Little black buggers, and they just bite. So anyway, we shall see what this brings us. Alright, this is what we've got. You can see, whoop, there you go. Just started to bulb. These guys aren't too bad as far as size. Where's that poor little bubby? He shouldn't have been taken from his mummy garlic. Yeah, as I said, we've had a couple of them were broke off at the ground and came back with the, well, I'm blaming a rabbit, but something. Yeah, we can crush that up and make some garlic paste and
I
be
think
good to cook with.
this one we might pop aside and
See if you can grow off.
see if I can grow off him for next year.
Yep.
It's not much of a start, but it'll be a start.
We've got 5 left. We just checked around, oh, where am I? There. The big fella, and he's got a nice little bulb on the ground there. The two little ones, the one little fella there, I'm not so hopeful about, but these two, I don't know if you can see on the ground. Oh, they're out there. They got bulbs there too, so 5 left, so we'll see how we go.
That smells really good. So I'm going to cut it. It's blemish free, so I'm really hopeful. It's also fruit fly
Hopefully.
free. We'll know in a moment.
I think you went nice, eh?
There you go.
Yeah, that looks good. They're little. I wonder if they'll get bigger next time. Or is
Maybe.
that their size?
No, I think they're supposed to be a full size, but... Well, we are at the end of another episode. We hope you've enjoyed it. As you can see, we've had some highs and lows again this fortnight. The weather has just, I know we keep saying, but it's been mid to high 30s.
And windy.
And there's been so little rain until last night when we got 11.5 mil, which was great, but we got, was it 1.5 or 2.5 last month?
1.5 for October in total.
Yeah.
We haven't had more than 30 mil since March, in a month, that is.
Yeah.
So a couple of 20s and then interceded by 1s and 1.5s, 2s.
And that's made it really difficult. I mean, like, we've been using our tanks, but they're starting to get low too. But the 11.5 mil, to be fair,
in last night in
it's
the little
put a
fella.
ring or two in, and
Not two.
Not two. Well, a ring, which is great. That'll give us another couple of weeks of water. But we actually are at the point where, in probably about the next 4 to 5 weeks, we'll actually have to order water.
Which would have been 2 to 3 weeks.
It would have been.
Had we not got our 11 mil last night.
So hopefully we'll get more. It's threatening. It's quite heavy. We've got a week where hopefully, if they're right, we'll have rain. Not a lot, but rain every day means we don't need to water. It also means a little bit in the tanks, and each time we get a little bit more in the tank, that gives us another little bit of breathing space.
We did say to the weather, don't threaten, just ask nicely. We're happy to get along easily. Threatening's a bit harsh and not recommended.
There's been some good things though. I mean, we got our first peaches, and they were really yummy.
They were tasty.
We've got some onions. We got.
So that's your first
That's
orchard
our very first
fruit.
ever orchard fruit.
And I've been going 12 months, so that's not too bad.
No. And I know it's only 3, but they were tasty. They were yummy. We enjoyed them. We have a little harvest of potatoes. It's very little.
Yep.
We'll probably boil them one night and have them as new potatoes. So we've got tomatoes down. We're at the point where we'll need to put some more lettuce seed down. The last lot I put down haven't taken.
You got a couple of onions. We got our little garlic that something keeps trying to nibble the top off. It didn't quite form full bulbs, but anyway, there's a bit there. We'll be able to mash her up and have homegrown garlic, which will be yummy.
But we did lose our figs.
Yeah, actually, the figs were a casualty. So of the fruit trees, the figs didn't survive the dry. The lychee didn't go so good either.
There was something else.
I think it was called a dead stick. The lychee. It was.
We lost the pecan.
Yeah, the pecan's gone. Macadamia almost. We just managed to hold on to it.
We've lost Two of the 3 bananas.
There's 2 natives who gone at the front.
And
they just
potentially
got,
another 5 out the back.
and that was only in the last week or two. There was another batch of high to mid 30s, and the wind just blew behind them. And they were hanging in there, and it just finished them off. It just literally fried them. The big Christmas tree from last year, he's turned his little toes up too from the last week. So we're trying desperately to hold on to him.
He's on life support.
And considering he was a fully established tree, and he'd been going for nearly 12 months since we planted him out, and whatever happened, we've been away a little bit, and there was the winds and the heat, and when we came back he was just literally cooked. We might as well put him in an oven.
But the orchard's going okay. To have lost so few in the orchard, I'm really, really, really pleased. And the bits that we've lost, we're just going to have to reevaluate and reestablish and get some more. But that'll probably be next year now. It's too hot to put much like that in now, so we'll just bide our time. Okay, so as always, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And the really important thing that I have to say is it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. If you found anything of use or interest in this episode or on our channel, please feel free to share it with your friends. And if you have a comment, I think we've asked for a few bits of information or some advice if you've got it. Always gladly taking that.
Anything's good.
And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye.
Bye.